Hello, guys. Welcome to Rex Arthur. This is the Rex Arthur show, Rex Arthur TV, the LGBTQ channel that discusses issues with an LGBTQ perspective with a humanistic approach. And wow, as we were just doing our other videos, we got to hear this interesting story that's breaking news. Of course, the AAAF, that's the federation that governs international athletics in the world, has come up with new rules. And one of the rules is about female classification. And in female classification, they are kind of defining who a female is in certain races. And one race that has been affected is the famous race that Semenya, Caster Semenya runs in. And she is bitter about what has happened, the decision to put her aside in certain races whereby the testosterone level is should be low, and she is being put in a group of people who are called the DSD, the difference of sexual development. There are people like that, and they also you have intersex people who sometimes can have testosterone levels like a man, even though they have female body parts. Now, that's very weird. Of course, we've tried to read through what the IAAF has said, and Sebastian Coe has said, he's trying to, or they are trying, to equalize the level, to level the playing field. Because I think this is based on the success Semenya has had. And they are, okay, the view is that if you can inject this testosterone in your body, as a woman, you can inject. And that's why there are women who, the trans men actually take testosterone to be more manly, because that's what they feel they are. They feel they are better when they are men, and they do that. They inject themselves, which is not bad, because a trans man is a trans man. Yes. And but then there are others who are natural, and this is where Semenya lies. Semenya is a natural testosterone female, highly testosterone female, because all women have testosterone, just like all men have estrogen. We all have, just the degree varies. That's why we have tits as men. We can even get breasts. It's just that the level of estrogen is what determines whether we'll have breasts or not. And and some and and you find you're a very manly man. Yes, you can be so macho, but you have estrogen in you. And yes, like you're a woman, you're so femme, but you have the testosterone in you. It's there. It's just the degree. So if the degree is the issue, why put aside Semenya? It's because there are people who can inject themselves with testosterone and run with Semenya. And I think that's what they're seeing. They're afraid that some ladies will try and become like Semenya. Secondly, it's like it's also attacking trans women. I mean, trans men, sorry. Because it means a trans man cannot run with Semenya. Because a trans man artificially injects testosterone into their body, and they would want to run. So, are they trying to call Semenya a trans man? it's a bit dicey. I think what they should do, they shouldn't have just classified. A female is a female. Whether she has high testosterone or not, even if you inject, it's okay. Yes, why not? And it's a very philosophical thing. I think I should have done this in the philosophy channel, but it's okay. This is it's an LGBT channel. It's better to do it here because Semenya, in one way or another, is a symbol of LGBTQ people. Yes, she is I mean, she is a representative of the LGBT community via intersex or yeah, or even transgender, because transgenders are more like intersex people. And I think I'll do one time a video about transphobia. It's very, very rampant in most of the world, especially where people are wearing, when they are not used to seeing somebody and hearing that I was born a woman, then now I'm female, and now I'm a man. It's like, what? How did you do that? Yes, it's possible. The reason is people don't understand psychology. They don't understand mental health. They don't understand mental infrastructure. You can be something physically, but mentally, that's not what you are. It's very, very complicated. Very. But it becomes less complicated when you understand mental infrastructure and you understand psychology, you understand the psyche of a person. That's why most transgenders, it is because of their psychosexuality, what they think and feel. And it's so powerful that when you feel like you're a man, but you feel like you're a woman, that's your feelings. And you it even affects how you do your things, how you even it's I'm telling you guys, it is an interesting life. If you look at the lives of transgenders, that's why it's the wisest thing to do is never to attack them. It's to understand that they have that mental the mental war in them. There's a very nice painting I have on my Facebook page, Rex Arthur, under transgender dome. I love how they drew the transgender. The transgender is like a lady, a girl who is stabbing herself with the female arrow. The female arrow, the cross, stabbing her, and then coming out is the male arrow that represents the man coming out of her. And it just shows you. I love the painting because it shows you what goes on to a transgender person. They are mixed up. So sometimes the day they want to be female, people expect they are going to do male things. Then when they do the male, then people are expecting, no, you should be doing a female thing. And so the whole painting is beautiful. And if you also look at suicide, it's mostly amongst transgenders and intersex people who are divided. Yes, you'd rarely find people who are not divided committing suicide. It's because their mind is a bit more focused. So, and yeah, so for this issue of Semenya, I am not really on the side of IWF. I am on Semenya's side. Semenya is naturally a female. She didn't choose to have those levels of testosterone. And it's not that those who choose to have those levels are also not women. They become women. They are women. It's just that testosterone is a chemical. Some people have it at high degrees. There's nothing you can do. I mean, let's look at athletics. If Latvia sends their girls to run, and it happens to be in the whole of Latvia, all the girls have 0.01 testosterone. And Semenya is running in the midst of these Latvian girls. And Semenya just has 0.5 or something. Now, what these guys are doing, they're using science and they're saying there's a certain level you can vary in testosterone. But when you have too much of it, they feel you are not really a woman. You're having something mad. You're different. So that's what they are trying to say with Semenya. But I'm trying to say that, look at it the other way. Latvia, the girls, all of them have low testosterone, very low, and they run. And how will they win? They won't win because definitely their testosterone is low. And then, secondly, this is another thing. There's something happening in the science world. We are beginning to know the truth about ourselves. And the truth about ourselves is that genetics, we are different genetically. If it was that there was only one genetic group, then you could say we are all one. But it's not so. Even same to the ladies. In fact, when you study female genetics, it's very strange. The female gene, the mitochondria, is very geographic. You'll only find it in Africa. The female mitochondrial group that are found in Africa have their classes, same to Asia, same to Europe, and same to America. Now, the thing scientists need to see and understand is that these these different mitochondria may also have an effect on testosterone. Like I have noticed with South African women or women from Southern Africa, they tend to have a lot of testosterone. If you've been with, and even Nigerian women, West African women, they tend to be very macho. The aggressive. There's that aggression they have as women, which you don't necessarily find in European women, and it's understandable. It's nature. It's genetic. So you can't fight it. It's who you are. Yes. If you look at it, even I just go to America itself. How many look at Condoleezza Rice? She's black, but she was a tough lady. She could sit in the room of filled with testosterone, and she could sit and enjoy her and give what America is going to do. She was never feeling intimidated. But you'll find some women will feel intimidated, and it's because they don't have that level of that testosterone in them. So when they are in a group of men, naturally they will succumb to the manpower in the room. I remember seeing a debate of a woman in Africa. She was debating with the other males, and when she's alone and she does things, or she speaks alone, she is very, very aggressive. But when she came for the debate in front of those men, I was like, what has happened? She just turned so firm. She was she just became soft. And I was like, is this the same lady who shouts and argues and is a bit aggressive? Yeah, but it was because of the environment she was in. It was that environment threatened her. That's why ladies don't run with men. It's not because they can't. It's that naturally you'll feel you're in a different space, especially if you're a lady with low testosterone levels and the men you're with have high testosterone. Because also there are men who have low testosterone. They're there. And it's also genetic for some. And it's also chemical for some. And it's also artificial for some. Those who want to be trans women, they inject themselves with estrogen, or they lower the testosterone so that they don't have the beards, they don't look manly, and they feel more feminine. Yes, they are there, very many. So sometimes women don't feel bad being in the presence of such a trans woman or in the presence of a man, because you can be a man and you're feminine. And women don't feel bad being around you because they know his testosterone is not that high. He's not the one that's raging mad that can make them run away. Because then you also have the extreme of men, like if you've read genetics, the XYY, is a very aggressive male because he has two Y's in his system. So just even there was a time I think Britain used to study men who had the XYY, and they just used to generalize that all of them were criminals because of that, and that was bad. That's not how you do it. Arrest somebody who has committed a crime, whether he's XYY or quadruple X, which we'll talk about in another video. But anyway, now back to Semenya. I am standing with Semenya, and that's all I wanted to say in this video, because Semenya is a female. She just has extremely high, I know she's been even classified as DSD, that's difference of sexual development, difference in sexual development, which is true, but she should not be punished for that natural, especially hers is natural. So they can let her run, and therefore just say they don't want trans women to run. That's what the female classification should have been: women who have not, who do not inject themselves. I mean, women who inject themselves with testosterone should not run. That's what they would say, and therefore that means excluding trans women. But Semenya, it's natural. She's like that. That's who she is, and so she should be allowed to run, because you'll be. It's like you're punishing genetics. You're punishing nature, and it's interesting that nature can be punished. Nature doesn't know. It's always above the law. It's nature is the law. That is her. That is who she is. There are people like her, as I've told you. Many African women tend to be having high testosterone. There are some. And then also, not only African women or black women, to be specific, because Africa is not just, even there are Indians who are Africans. It's that even in the West, there are certain medicines you can take that make a woman have a high testosterone. And this is the problem of the law. You will create loopholes. Now, there will be some women who will know, even look for foods. There are foods that increase testosterone. They will look for them. And now what's going to happen? They are going to have to be doing tests all the time on women racers to check if their testosterone is high. If your testosterone is found to be very high, you won't run. So that's what's going to happen. And for Semenya, even if she doesn't eat food that increases the testosterone, she will be told, sorry, you can't run in this race, yours is high. So basically, welcome to the world where science is now fighting its own object of study, that is nature. But as I've said, I stand with Semenya. She should run. Hers is natural. She didn't choose it. And not that she didn't choose it. She is one. But then it brings us a point. So what happens to trans women? Or is it that trans women don't like running? Yes, because they are trans women and trans men. Because trans men inject themselves to have more testosterone. And what about a trans woman? Are they ever going to run? And a trans woman, naturally, they have testosterone. Most trans women, you see, they still have their biceps. If you look at them very carefully, they have their biceps. So it's just a very interesting world we're living in, and I know Semenya is an LGBTQI celebrity, and I'm happy for her, and I am grateful she has done well. I know she has accepted herself, and that's good. That's what you should do. And and she has been successful. She shouldn't be denied. I mean, Maria Mutola, who was her forerunner, she also looked very masculine, and she was always winning. I remember every time 800 meters came and you just see Maria, in your head you just know she's winning, and it was true. She was always winning because she had the biceps, and she was even more masculine than Semenya. Her biceps were bigger, and her legs were, and she was taller, and she was more, stone faced. It's just interesting. And so Semenya, she's also masculine, and but she's a woman. And this brings you to me to this point: who is a woman, who is a man? I think we go primarily, a man is anybody who has a penis. That's my definition. A man is anybody who has a penis. That's my definition of a man. And then a woman is anybody who has a vagina. Yes, that's my take. Whether you're a trans woman or you're a trans man, if you get a penis, even if it's artificial, you are a man. If you get a vagina, even when you were born with a dick, you are a woman. That's my take. And then the rest of the characteristics like testosterone, estrogen, whether you have a uterus, whether you have a fallopian tube, or whether you have balls, all of those are secondary characteristics, because you also find very beautiful things. Diversity, oh my. When you study the human body, you will love you will love nature. You will love what has happened. There are different types of men. Different. Some men have very big dicks. Others have very small dicks. Yes. Others have. It's just wow. You just say, wow, we live in a nice world, don't we? Where nature is diverse. And some people, and as I've told you, ladies, like they have beards, they have beards. And she's a lady. She has children. She has beards. Yeah. That's how it's supposed. It happens like that, and it's just like, wow, this is so intriguing. I remember one time in school, there was a lady who came to talk to us, and she had a goatee. It was so real. And guess where she was from? She was from South Africa. Yes. So I got to know these ladies in Southern Africa. They tend to have a lot high testosterone. It's in their blood. It's in their blood. So I don't think you need to punish someone for having that high testosterone. It's just like the Kenyan runners. You'll find the reason the Kenyan runners do well is also genetic. So you don't punish them for their genes. See, you don't punish people for their genes. You let people who are genetically born that way run. Even Semenya should run. I know they're just feeling bad. Maybe in the economic side, South Africa is going to get gold. They're going to get gold. They're going to get rich. And people, guys who want to compete are just saying, like, there's a way I just don't want to run anymore. With Semenya on the track, and then when you look at Semenya's age, and you just say, let's just escort Semenya to the stage. And I know they are all basing it on fairness, but is life really fair? That's the question. So that's my take. See you guys.